Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge etc. Discover the power of November 23. Highlight in history. Today is 23rd November highlight in history. 1644 John Milton publishes a Areopagitica, a pamphlet decreeing censorship. 1733 The start of the 1733 slave insurrection on St. John in what was then the Danish West Indies. 1808 French and Poles defeat the Spanish at Battle of Tudela. 1863 American Civil War, Battle of Chattanooga begins. Union forces led by General Ulysses S. Grant reinforced troops at Chattanooga, Tennessee and counterattack Confederate troops. 1867 The Manchester martyrs are hanged in Manchester, England for killing a police officer while freeing two Irish Republican Brotherhood members from custody. 1876 Corrupt Tammany Hall leader William Magyar Tweed, better known as Boss Tweed, is delivered to authorities in New York City after being captured in Spain. 1890 King William III of the Netherlands dies without a male heir, and a special law is passed to allow his daughter Princess Wilhelmina to succeed him. 1910 Johann Alfred Under becomes the last person to be executed in Sweden. 1914 Mexican Revolution, the last of US forces withdraw from Veracruz, occupied 7 months earlier in response to the Tampico affair. 1921 Warren G. Harding, 29th President of the United States, signs the Willis-Campbell Act into law, prohibiting doctors from prescribing beer or liquor for medicinal purposes. 1923 The 1923 Irish hunger strikes ends. 4 Irish Republicans die from starvation. 1924 Edwin Hubble's discovery that the Andromeda Nebula is actually another Iceland galaxy far outside our own Milky Way is first published in the New York Times. 1934 An Anglo-Ethiopian boundary commission in the Ogaden discovers an Italian garrison at Walwal, well within Ethiopian territory. This leads to the Abyssinia crisis. 1939 World War II HMS Rawalpindi is sunk by the German battleships Skrorenhorst and Gneisenau. 1940 World War II Romania becomes a signatory of the Tripartite Pact, officially joining the Axis powers. 1943 World War II The Deutsche Opernhaus on Bismarckstraße in the Berlin neighborhood of Charlottenburg is destroyed. It will eventually be rebuilt in 1961 and be called the Deutsche Oper Berlin. 1943 World War II Tarawa and Makin atolls fall to American forces. 1944 World War II The Lota Sword movement is disbanded under the terms of the Armistice Treaty in Finland after the Continuation War. 1946 French naval bombardment of Hai Phong, Vietnam kills thousands of civilians. 1955 The Cocos Islands are transferred from the control of the United Kingdom to that of Australia. 1959 French President Charles de Gaulle declares in a speech in Strasbourg his vision for Europe from the Atlantic to the Urals. 1963 The first episode of Doctor Who, an unearthly child, is broadcast by the BBC, which is now the world's longest running science fiction drama. 1971 Representatives of the People's Republic of China attend the United Nations, including the United Nations Security Council, for the first time. 1972 The Soviet Union makes its final attempt at launching the N1 rocket. 1974 60 Ethiopian politicians, aristocrats, military officers and other persons are executed by the provisional military government. 1976, Jacques Mayol is the first man to reach a depth of 100 meters 330 feet under sea without breathing equipment. 1978, cyclone kills about 1,000 people in eastern Sri Lanka. 1978, the Geneva Frequency Plan of 1975 goes into effect, realigning many of Europe's long-wave and medium-wave broadcasting frequencies. 1980, the 6.9 megawatt Irpinia earthquake shakes southern Italy with a maximum Mercalli intensity of X extreme, killing to 2,483 to 4,900 and injuring 7,700 to 8,934. 1981, Iran-Contra affair. Ronald Reagan signs the top secret National Security Decision Directive 17, giving the Central Intelligence Agency to authority to recruit and support Contra rebels in Nicaragua. 1985, gunmen hijack Egypt Air Flight 648 and en route from Athens to Cairo. When the plane lands in Malta, Egyptian commandos storm the aircraft, but 60 people die in the raid. 1991, Queen lead singer Freddie Mercury announces in a statement that he is HIV positive. He dies the following day. 1992, the first smartphone, the IBM Simon, is introduced at Comdex in Las Vegas, Nevada. 1996, Ethiopian Airline Flight 961 is hijacked, then crashes into the Indian Ocean off the coast of Comoros after running out of fuel, killing 125. 2001, the Convention of Cybercrime is signed in Budapest, Hungary. 2002, Space Shuttle Endeavour launches on STS-113 to the International Space Station carrying the Expedition 6 crew and the P-1 Truce. 2003, Rose Revolution. Georgian President Eduard Shevardnadze resigns following weeks of mass protests over flawed elections. 2004, the Holy Trinity Cathedral of Tbilisi, the largest religious building in Georgia, is consecrated. 2005, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is elected president at Liberia and becomes the first woman to lead an African country. 2006, a series of bombings kills at least 215 people and injures 257 others in Sadr city, making it the second deadliest sectarian attack since the beginning of the Iraq War in 2003. 2007, MS Explorer, a cruise liner carrying 154 people, sinks in the Antarctic Ocean south of Argentina after hitting an iceberg near the South Shetland Islands. There are no fatalities. 2009, the Maguindanao massacre occurs in Ampatuan, Maguindanao, Philippines. 58 opponents of Andal Ampatuan Jr. are kidnapped and killed. 2010, bombardment of Pyongyang, North Korean artillery attack kills 2 civilians and 2 marines on Yeonpyeong Island, South Korea. 2011, Arab Spring. After 11 months of protests in Yemen, Yemeni President Ali Abdullah Saleh signs a deal to transfer power to the vice president in exchange for legal immunity. 2015, Blue Origin's New Shepard space vehicle became the first rocket to successfully fly to space and then return to Earth for a controlled vertical landing. 2018, founders of Italian fashion brand Dolce and Gabbana issue an apology following a series of offensive advertisements on social media promoting a fashion show in Shanghai, China, which was cancelled. 2019, the last Sumatran rhinoceros in Malaysia, Imam, dies, making the species officially extinct in the country. Thank you very much for your patience.